They call me a full-fledged fast food junkie because I've been in fast food all my life. Hi, my name is Ron Jacobs. I'm one of the co-leads for a men's eGroup. You know, I did several years with McDonald's, and now I'm a district manager at Jack in the Box. You know, God put in my heart that in order for men to be able to talk, you know, you gotta be transparent. So the first thing we did at the first meeting is, you know, I unveiled my testimony. Once I set that standard, every man that came in, we made sure that they understand that there's no judgment, but you gotta get it off you. And that's how the whole eGroup got started. 3 guys, Chris, Ricardo, and Mark. Then Anthony that came along.
And I said, where are you guys meeting? He said, the back of a Jack in the Box. I was like, well, wait a minute. It's like, oh, well, you know, I love the spring rolls at Jack in the Box, so I will be there. All right, so my name is Anthony Atiase, and I co-lead a men's eGroup out of the University City campus. Got in there, and literally there's an office in the back of a Jack in the Box. A steel door. I was like, what am I getting into? And I won't forget, Ron stood up and gave his testimony. And he was like brutally honest as to, this is who I am, this is what I'm about. And I said, okay, Mr. Back in the room of Jack in the Box got a lot of honesty.
For the first 3 weeks of being in the group, Anthony wouldn't say anything.
I was observant, I would say, for at least 2 or 3 months.
I asked him, I said, you're very analytical. He said, yes. I said, okay. I said, I got you. I said, you're gonna open up.
I just never really opened up until Tony came. And then that was a different story. Tony, I would say, imagine a fire. And Tony was like, all right, guys, stop putting sticks in here. Let's throw some gas on it.
We kind of passed the mic around, tell your story. And when it came to me, I just let it out. As in, like, you know, hi, my name's Tony. I'm originally from Baltimore, and I come from a family of mental, physical, and sexual abuse.
Day one, he opened up, told his story, and literally all the guys were like, okay, it's time for us to open up.
I had been coming to Elevation for almost 2 years, and you would hear the message, join an eGroup, join an eGroup. But I was hesitant because I knew that if I was to do this, I couldn't come in holding on to the same trauma and still say that I was being true to myself and saying that I was pursuing this personal relationship with other men who are also trying to be more Christ-like. Once I said that, I just felt this weight come off of me.
The level of layers men had suppressed in their lives for 10, 15, 20, 50 years. Tony was able to allow them to say, it's okay, and let's start to unpack and get to the core.
When you got men that's in their 50s and 60s that said that they were molested as a child and never told anybody, when you have men that comes in there and say that, you know, I've been selling weed and selling drugs for a while, when you have men that comes in there that have been incarcerated that said, I never got a second chance, people look at me differently, and they unveil it now. That's the impact that this group has had.
I knew I needed to put myself in an environment with men where we could just be so vulnerable and say, this is my true story, because that's where the healing was for me.
We're really trying to set a standard to help men and let men feel like they got a place that they can go, where they can talk, and it'll be judgment-free. We know we're gonna make mistakes, but you know, we're honest with each other and honest with ourselves and hold each other accountable. We'll continue moving forward.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching Elevation Plus. We consider you part of our eFam, which is our online family.
That's right, so make sure you are liking, subscribing, sharing Elevation Plus, and come back here so you can find out more about great stories, great creative elements, and also join us every week for Coffee Fam.
That's right.